How to install in-ground wayside exhibits. An 8-step demonstration of the proper assembly and installation of low-profile and upright in-ground units. The first step in assembling both types of exhibits is to assemble the tools and materials. Included with your exhibits is a printed sheet listing all the materials you'll need for a typical installation. For projects with many exhibits and many holes to dig, we recommend a power post hole digger with an 8-inch earth auger. This might be a 2-man gasoline model or an auger driven by the power takeoff of a tractor. The second step is to unpack the exhibit and lay out the parts. We recommend you use the opened shipping carton as a work surface. This will protect the finish of the painted parts. The third step is to assemble the exhibit base. Choose a firm, flat surface for this work. For low-profile base assembly, lay the right leg and cross-arm flat, with the 3 holes facing up. Place the right edge of the frame with its 3 holes on top of the cross-arm and align the holes. At this point, make sure you're not attaching the panel upside down. The exhibit title must be at the top of the assembly. Now, insert a 3/8-inch diameter drive rivet in each of the 3 holes. Using a heavy drift punch and hammer, set each rivet by striking the projecting center pin until it's flush with the rivet head. This action causes the rivet prongs inside the crossarm to spread, drawing the frame and crossarm together. Use firm, deliberate blows. Light taps will not spread the prongs, and heavy blows might damage the metal. Turn the subassembly over and lay the left edge of the frame on top of the left leg and crossarm. Place a pre-cut leg spacer board between the legs about 2 feet up from the bottom. The spacer keeps the leg joints from breaking and ensures that the legs are parallel when setting the exhibit. Again, align the holes, insert the rivets, and set them as before. The low-profile exhibit base is now ready for installation. Now let's assemble an upright unit. Lay the right leg flat with the 4 holes facing up. Place the right edge of the frame with its 4 holes on top of the leg and align the holes. Again, be sure you're not attaching the frame upside down. The removable retaining angle must be at the top of the exhibit frame assembly. Insert 3/8-inch diameter drive rivets in each of the 4 holes. Using a heavy drift punch and hammer, set each rivet by striking the center pin until the pin is flush with the rivet head. Carefully turn this subassembly over and lay the left edge of the frame on top of the left leg. Align the holes, insert the rivets, and set as before. Now you're ready for actual installation. The fourth step is to stake installation hole locations. This step applies to both low-profile and upright units. Drive a stake to mark the location of the left leg. Measure the center-to-center distance between the exhibit legs, making sure the spacer board is in place. Using this measurement, drive a second stake to mark the location of the right leg. The fifth step, again applying to both type units, is digging the holes. Using stakes as guides, drill a hole for each leg. Take care to dig the hole straight and to the depth indicated on the drawings provided. For the low-profile unit, the depth is 24 inches. The standard depth for the upright unit is 36 inches. Lift the digger occasionally to clear the hole of dirt. When you're finished drilling, use the hand post hole digger to clean the holes. Finally, add about 6 inches of gravel to the bottom on each hole for drainage and to aid in leveling the exhibit. The sixth step is setting the exhibit. In this critical step, you will make sure the exhibit is plumb, level, and at the proper height. Don't mix the concrete until this step is completed. For the low-profile unit, measure the distance from the front edge of the exhibit frame down to the finished surface. The correct height is 34 inches. You may have to add or remove gravel to accomplish this. For the upright unit, measure the distance from the bottom of the exhibit frame down to the finished surface. The optimum height is shown on the drawings provided by Harper's Ferry Center. For this exhibit, which measures 36 inches wide by 54 inches high, the proper distance is 24 inches. Check the level across the top of the frame. Again, add or remove gravel in the holes to level the exhibit. Mask the bottoms of the legs with plastic to protect them from concrete splatter. Drive a wood stake about 4 feet directly behind each leg. Next, take a brace about 6 feet long and nail it to the stake, while a second person holds the opposite end against the top of the leg. Using a C-clamp, fasten the brace to the leg. A clamp block protects the paint on the opposite side of the leg. Holding a level on the front or back side of each leg, loosen the clamp and adjust each leg until it's plumb when viewed from the side. When plumb, secure the clamp. Finally, recheck all measurements and make adjustments if necessary. The exhibit is now set. The seventh step is mixing and placing the concrete. Place the wet concrete in the holes with a shovel. As the concrete fills the holes, agitate it with a stick to eliminate voids, bringing it to within 1 inch below grade. Be careful not to knock the exhibit out of alignment during this process. Keep the braces and spacer board in place at least 24 hours. It might be necessary to rope off the area to make sure the exhibit isn't disturbed. The eighth step is the last. After the concrete is set, remove all bracing. Wash the exhibit with a cloth and clean water. Cover the exposed concrete with soil or other suitable material. The installation is now complete. Now let's review the process for removing and replacing exhibit panels. The method is the same for both low-profile and upright exhibits. Find the drive rivets at the top of the exhibit frame along the outer edge. There are usually 3. Using a 1/8 inch diameter pin punch and hammer, carefully drive the center pin out of the rivet with a few sharp blows. On the back side of the frame, use pliers to pinch the 4 prongs of the rivet together. This allows the rivet to be backed out of the hole. Push or tap the bottom of the rivet to lift the countersunk head, and using pliers, carefully grasp the head and pull the rivet out. Drive rivets can also be removed if necessary by drilling off their heads with a 1/4 inch bit. Do the same for the remaining drive rivets. Lift off the loose retaining angle and slide the panel out. To replace a panel, first make sure the frame grooves and weep holes are free of dirt or other obstructions. Slide the new panel into the grooves. If you're installing the panel in a newly shipped frame, you'll find the retaining angle attached with screws. Replace these with drive rivets. Replace the retaining angle on the frame, align the holes, and insert 1/4 inch flathead drive rivets. Using a hammer, set each rivet by driving the protruding center pin flush with the head of the rivet. Using the touch-up paint supplied, paint the head of each rivet and any other chipped or damaged spots. It's important that you follow the mixing instructions supplied with the paint. Paint is best stippled on with a folded pipe cleaner. A professional installation job is vital to the success of the overall project. When properly installed and maintained, your new Wayside exhibits provide visitors with high-quality interpretation for many years to come.